This is your daily market recap for Wednesday, October 26, 2022. Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well. This is Dan Mack, CDXP Realty, aka the Trading Agent, and this is your daily market recap for Wednesday, October 26, 2022. Hopefully you're having an excellent day, as we are, as always, trying to stay in the realm of probabilities. I want to talk about a few things going into GDP tomorrow, some meta, some of the market, just a little bit of everything. So please stick around, enjoy the content. Please slap a like, subscribe if you're newer. I promise you, if you don't learn something from these recaps, then I don't know what to tell you, because I'm going to give you some honest truths as always and try to incorporate 20 years of experience into what I'm seeing and give you the best ideas of how to manage what's going on in the market. As of right now, said it all day, rotation. Tech sucks. I've said it, I don't know how many times, hundreds of times. Trade tech, don't invest in tech. What does that mean, Dan? Means trade it. You want to short it? Great. You want to go long it? Great. It's not in a trend. It's not going higher. Very choppy. Pick your names well. Be careful trying to get in before earnings. Again, watch commodities. Money is rotating. Notice oil, commodities, whatever one you're following, holding up better than the market. It is telling you money is not destroyed. It rotates. And again, the SPY holding up, the IWM, everyone is getting bearish again, and they are just getting squeezed. But people are looking at tech and not realizing money is coming out of that stuff. It's not going back into it. Now, again, it has temporary blips and ups, but I don't trust it. Talked about why. I don't need to rehash it over and over and over. Let's get into it. Again, if you're newer to the channel, want to be part of the Discord room, and you've been following the videos, been following the content, back to basics. There's so many beginner videos on everything we talk about. And you were just like, hey, you know what? I appreciate this guy, what he's offering. Like to know more, stop by the Discord room. Well, hit me up on Twitter for I'll drop you a link. I'd love to hear your story. Again, all this I do for free just to help people out. The goal is to make better traders out of everybody, because at some point you will be helping me out, because I can't watch everything all the time. Bitcoin, again, not bearish, holding up. Talked about once it got over 20,000, I don't know, 22, 25. I mean, it's just not bearish. People are gonna argue that it's been dead money. Yeah, not maybe the best trade, probably, but it's not making new lows. Things that aren't bearish, we talk about this all the time. Oil, hallelujah. Told y'all be patient. Anyone buying in the 82, 83 range realizes why we're going heavy. The more retest, the better. Because now what? If you're newer to the channel, or even if you've been following, you don't understand this concept of testing allows you to put in larger orders with very tight stops. Because if the floor is the floor, meaning you see it, or the ceiling is the ceiling, now you know your reference points. And the more time something tests, what? The more likely it is to hold and or turn the other direction, right? The more we held 83, right? The more we held it after going up and backing. Where's my... Oh, there you go. First major resistance. Talked about hitting 76. Talked about it failing up here. Left shoulder, right shoulder. Takes time. And now you got over. Bullish. Congrats. Again, the market isn't going to fall over dead if oil's rising. I just keep telling people that. And they're like, oh, here it goes. And I'm like, no. Oh, I got a short Soxel. I got a short this. All right, be careful. Nat gas. I feel like this is a bad ticker. Either way, we've talked about it. You held this last support. We got stopped out at this area in the mid sixes. Oil and gas going higher. Gonna put the Feds in the pickle jar. We talked about this. The Feds want us. The Feds are not going to be hesitant to continue raising rates when the market rises, but they're also going to be more aggressive if what? Oil, gas, commodities rise, because they have to stamp out inflation. Keep that in mind. Nat gas is an input, oil is an input, copper is an input. You choose the name, commodity, input. Okay, if you're not following, check out Twitter. Always trying to drop what we're up to. You Y'all know the deal. You guys know. Friends are trying to keep people updated with what's happening during the day. Again, I can't flood the Discord room with a bunch of beginners asking questions or people who just really aren't into learning. They just want, I would say, sometimes the best answers without doing the work. Not really into that. Not into that. Please subscribe. Check out all the videos, educational videos. It just goes on and on and on and on. You want the free crash course in trading? You like to do it for cheap? Here you go. Watch the videos. Subscribe. Ask questions. I mean, leave comments. Ask questions. I'm always amazed. People just, oh, I listened to it once. I think I got it. Yeah, right. Okay, you got it. You got it like when I picked up that basketball at one time when I was a kid, and I was like, I'm going to be great. And I just picked up the ball, and I played in the NBA. Or I picked up that football, and I could sling it. Or I picked up that baseball, and I could throw it 100 miles an hour. Wrong. The dollar. Things that aren't bearish. We talked about it. Once it made lower highs, broke below the 50-day. Coming back into the next support zone. Feels like the market's going to continue higher. Bonds. We talked about the potential blow-off. Now, again, I'm not bullish in the sense of buying. I may have missed the exact bottom, which, hey, that's fine. I mean, it's a downtrend. When we stopped out here, we were like, just leave it lower. Let it go. It went 10 points lower. Now you had some blow-off on options expiration Friday. Talked about if it could get over the 2-day range. That looks a professional gap. People go, where's it going, Dan? Well, we said it over and over. It's probably going to this big round number, 9,900, 20-day. Just be aware, if this is the bottom, which I seriously doubt, it's going to be choppy. It's not going to give you, remember, it's not going to give you like a one touch. It's going to come back and make a lower low, higher low, or an equal low, just like the tops. It took months. Then did a little and then fail. If you are a bull, trade it. I don't believe that bonds are going to be bought beyond a certain point. They will have value and attractiveness with their yields at 4 and change. I just don't think it's that good because I think, again, inflation, CPI is anchoring in 5, 6, 7% near term. And the Feds are just not done. The VIX. Things that aren't bearish. Talked about it. Once it broke the 20-day, once you retested the highs at the end, when you retested the highs in October, God, this congestion is driving me nuts. Now what? Now what? You did not, remember the market made a new low and the VIX didn't confirm it. We said, watch out. And now it's just been a GDP tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Worst case scenario, 25, 26 downside. Maybe fills the gap. We've talked about this over and over and over and over and over, and I'll do it again. 2008, very similar situation. Before the market went ape snap, you had 2-month pullback. You just made higher highs and higher lows. I held the 20-month. Guess where the 20-month is? It is around 23. Also wouldn't be surprised if it hit the 200. But again, it's very safe to say bears are out of position. Short heavy. Bulls are 6, the cash levels are at 6-7% right now. People are just running into the market, and you'll see the action hold if it's bullish. Bad news seems to rise. Things that people don't realize. The word of the month has been pivot. Pivot, pivot, pivot. When wrong, pivot. Pivot, 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 pivot. They don't do it. So, anyway, SPY. Oh, hammer. Hammer top at the 50-day. Yeah, I mean, tech sucks. But we'll show you in some of the other indexes. Maybe not so much. I still think you can get to the 2, 390s, maybe even up to the 4s. Everyone's bearish. Bear traps revolve which way? North for the winter. I guess, no, not typically. Just north. This one led to a channel high. Will this lead to a channel high? All in the realm of possibilities that make me not want to short now. Tech. Talked about laggard crap. Leave it alone. Made, because it's... We've talked about it. If you've watched the channel in November, put out the video. Who wins the tech war? Commodities. There's going to be a rotation. This bear market is based on tech leading lower. Commodities will find their low at some point. They will throw the baby out with the bathwater. But when I go long, I'd rather go long commodities. And when I go short, I'd rather go short tech. Why? It's very easy. One has more upside, one has lots of downside. The IWM. This leads. Now, I know today's candle, not very pretty. Little hammer, close at the 100-day. We said it earlier this morning. It's like not surprised that the market kind of chopped around, took some profit before what? The GDP number that comes out tomorrow. I want to see it down. If it would have closed higher, I'd be much nervous. You know, you gotta create some indecision in between. You know, straight line moves get very hairy because then you don't really know. Along the way, you get backfills and backfills. You don't want that. You don't want that constantly. Anyway, we'll see. I mean, this is the thing. If you are long anything and you are unsure, raise your stops, not raise your hand. But IWM, I mean, it, again, didn't make new lows from June. We talked about this. I mean, look at this. Rallied back. I know this candle looks bearish, but I guarantee if we look to the left, how many times have there been candles like this at highs and it continue higher? I don't know. Let's do it. That chop top. Kind of dojis went higher. I mean, it's all relative. I mean, just I guess but instead of wasting time reviewing this, because again, it's typically a bearish signal. Just remember earnings, cash on the sidelines, bears all in short, bulls out of position, indecision, need more data, raise stops if unsure. Right? That's what I would just be aware of. Certain things look better, hence why I'm not really that concerned. Gold. If the market was going to roll over, why is gold making higher highs? I've said this a million times. Could catch a bid here. The markets catch some love. Not that excited about it, but things that aren't bearish. Same thing with silver. Good old SLV. That doesn't look busted, y'all. Doesn't look like it's about to roll over. Sorry about that. Higher lows. Head and shoulders. Probably chopping. 19, 20. Potentially. GDXJ. The one we like the long term. Over the 50-day. Coming in the 100-day. I mean, remember, in the next gold cycle, the next commodity bull cycle, gold miners, the juniors will get zabought up. But just please don't buy the crappy ones. Buy the ETF. Don't pick the penny stocks. I hate those things. GDX holding up. Again, things that show you commodities are holding up better. Now, again, I don't like them because they're upper left, lower right. But they are a commodity, and they're holding up much better. AG. Hey, talked about it. I mean, it's basing. Play the base, blow out the bottom, then go higher. Whatever. AEM, we like this one longer term. They had earnings after hours. Just kind of curious what they're doing. They upped their dividend. 44. It's flat. And it's, flat in a range. I mean, either way, over the 100-day. I mean, we talked about the volume over here to the left. Hey-oh. Watch it. Watch it. I mean, this one is showing you relative strength. I think it's going to be the winner long-term of the bigger miners. Looks pretty solid. Because, again, look at Newmont. Every reason to find some strength, but look, on its mediocre earnings, it's gone nowhere. Now, this is a basing process. I just don't trust it. We'll see. I could be absolutely wrong on this stuff, but I don't think the Feds have pivoted, which they haven't. And what else? The market hasn't capitulated. So you got two things that just make it hard to buy this stuff when it's upper left, lower right. In time, patience. Patience grasshopper. Tech. AMD. AM Dizzle. At the 20-day. Held the channel low. I mean, again, if you want to trade it, go right ahead. They got earnings coming up. I would not step in front of those. But you know what? You choose your choices. NVIDIA up. What is it? After hours. Why can't I find a 10? Yeah, up at 135. Up at the 50. No, not even there. Trade it. We talked about it. I mean, how many times did I say it? Channel low. If the market's going higher, even the trash will float up. Just be careful in front of earnings because you don't know. Does that make sense? I mean, I say it over and over. SMH. Oh, I'm ready to short Soxel. Okay. We're over the 20-day. Don't be surprised if it bases here. It's also old resistance from July. I'd wait for higher highs, or that's just me. I don't want to step in front of short. Again, if the rising tide lifts all boats, maybe except Meta. Point being what? Do you really want to short it now? No, you want to let the market play out. Adobe gets into the gap, chops. Not surprised, made a nice move. 270s up to 330. Yeah, I mean, we talked about you could sell puts post IV explosion. Now what? I mean, doesn't look bearish. It's coming off the lows, little W pattern. Does it fill the gap? I don't know. Good old senior fruit apple. Oh my God, inside day. How many times have you seen that before, Dan? I mean, you see it a lot. Oh God, but it made a lower low. Okay. Does it need it? I mean, did we not say that if you bought it going into earnings, probably take your profits if you want to short it? Again, be careful holding into earnings. We have no clue what they're going to say. And we honestly, it doesn't even really matter. It's just, what's the reaction? We have no clue. Amazon looks better. I mean, it's like Apple. They're not breaking the June lows. I think these stocks are tradable. But Amazon's got earnings coming up, Thursday after the close. So you want to roll them dice? Go right ahead, dog. Nah, dog. CRM, man, this thing blew out the lows, channel lows, bouncing back up. It's a pretty solid move, acting better. I mean, know your levels. I mean, I don't really want to dig that deep into it because I don't own it and I don't care. Google. Here's an example of when earnings go wrong. Back at the lows, somebody was like, I'm going to buy calls today. I'm like, please don't. Please don't. We'll see what happens. It might play this game of chop. You got to be patient. I mean, again, we'll get into commodities. They look so much better. I don't know why people are like, oh, do you want to buy this? Meta after hours, 105 as we speak. Traded around it, made $10, lost $10, and then gave up. Gave up. I mean, 105. I mean, there is some support though. Trying to check out on the monthly. People keep saying 106. I mean, I see it. Let's go to the monthly. I'll show y'all. Hopefully, again, if you trade this after hours, I mean, this is I think that people don't realize, like, here you go. Yeah, okay. I mean, somewhere around in here, I get it. We'll see what happens. I mean, this thing has been donkey punched. Either way, I mean, how many times do we tell people, like, get out of this tech crap? We'll see. I mean, it's probably due to bounce. The problem when you drop too fast, the reversion to the mean. Microsoft, again, looks great. Earnings, blah. We'll see what happens. NDAQ, delist some Chinese stocks? I don't know. You want to short it? I'm going to wait. It's the Coinbase of the NASDAQ. I mean, once the NASDAQ loses all its Momo, meaning all the Q stuff, which it will, because it's cyclical. Adios. MicroStrategy, man, got over the zone, auto zone. No, 260s. I mean, it's holding up. Netflix, I mean, this had earnings and leading up. Talked about why we bought a little bit and then sold it, but I'm like, damn, not bearish. I mean, leaders lead. There's certain leaders in tech, certain ones that aren't. Good old Snapper chat. I mean, this is what I always talk about with liquidity. Market is liquidity-driven game. They gapped this down, and the shorts, been shorting since whatever 80s. They're like, you know what, I'm time to take some profit. And they did. I mean, again, whatever, you want to trade it? Nah. Roblox hit one of our old channels. Interesting. I still think it could get up into the 50s. Not making new lows. You see this? Like, this looks better than a lot of other tech. Tesla. I mean, it looks a lot better. I mean, it just held the lows. We talked about the bear trap, rally back. Not bad. I mean, you could trade this stuff, but just pick and choose your tech names wisely. And if you play with earnings, don't be surprised if you get cooked. And again, always get out in front of the fact if you're unsure, because you can always get back in. It's the big losses that you're trying to mitigate. I mean, wins are great. You can't go broke with wins, right? We always talk about it. But if you make a mistake during earnings, you could get busted. So take the bust off the table. Letter X, again, has earnings. Look at that. Bounces back. Or no, sorry, they're after the close tomorrow. Ooh, be careful. But this is, again, this looks way better, right? Nice base of lows for months, not just like a solid downtrend. Makes higher highs. Nucor said this is the one if you're going to play steel. I talked about it. I mean, you had the double bottom. I mean, 103 up to 140. Pretty solid. Solid cliff. Crap stock. Reacting as it held the point of control. I guess. VALE going to do some split offs. Or no, I mean, what are they going to do? Why is your brain so bad some days? Spin-offs. They're going to spin off parts of the company. I like it when it gets back into the 11s. Arrow. Copper. Copper name. Copper John. Holding up. Since August, looks pretty solid, while other stuff was just sayonara. Hey, Cap. Doesn't look weak to me. CCJ, talked about it, 2270 once it got over it. Continue higher just every day. Continues higher. Not bearish. CF, oh my God. Red day, green day, red day, green day. Stop, go, stop, go. Head and shoulders. Zoom out. Lower left, upper right. Bullish stock. Consolidating under the breakout. Good luck. Don't be, again, have stops, but it just doesn't look bearish to me. Mosaic. Cat, you need to stop purring so loud. Holding the trend at the 200 day. See what happens. NTR. Bought some of this near the lows. Been trying to get it as much as you can. Hits a 28, backs off. Oh my God, it's game over. Nah, we'll see. You're at the point of control. Again, these names, even in the bear market, look at that. Looks okay to me, but again, have stops. I mean, I could be wrong. Alcoa said what happens when you gap down and you pop right back with high volume, probably going higher. Oh, but Dan, it didn't go right away. Well, guess what? It took time. Things that happen in a bull market or in a bear market rally or bullish tendency market, they make new highs. How about them apples? XBI, we went in on this in the mid-70s. Oh, it looks good. Oh, it pulled up, popped back up. Whatever. Again, I mean, I got my cost basis down here. I'm not going to freak out when it pulls back a point or two. I think if the market's going higher, Baby Biotech seems to be doing all right. Am I right? Am I wrong? It looks like right. XLF, I mean, financials look strong. Tough to be bearish. Now I know up against a trend line, little doji, but things that aren't bearish, like stupid Morgan Stanley. No, stupid JP Morgan. I always say this every day. Holding made higher lows on the, whatever, going higher. JP Morgan. Jamie Dimon bottom. Oh, market's going to crash another 20%. Well, then it rallies 20%. Nice work, Jamie. If you're listening, you get MVP of the month. You lost more money for investors in your stock that sold at the lows than anyone possible, and you probably reaped the benefit. Congratulations to you. Real man of genius. Yes, you, Jamie Dimon, you tell everybody to sell because the market's gonna collapse and you buy the stock. 20% off the lows. Real men of genius. I mean, it's unreal, right? Solar. Not sure why anyone wants to short this. Talked about, wait for the rally. Come on in. Let the water warm. I mean, I'm just not in a rush. I'm going to let the market kind of pick its top. Sedge, even this piece of junk. Coming off the lows, things that aren't bearish. ENPH. Congrats if you made some money on today's action. I still believe what? I have a feeling we will come back up and test these areas before we dump. Again, stocks that are lower left, upper right are going to find buyers. Tan, cooking. Pop today. I mean, it's one of those things where it's not near the June lows, making higher lows. I wouldn't get bearish. Solar, I mean, again, long term, absolutely. We'll hunt. We're on the hunt for the red October. I guess it's going to turn into a green October, actually, but you know my point. Let's end it with oil, gas, and all our fun favorite names. Oil. Basically said, once you got over the 71s, hello, Charlie. Where's the next stop? 76. After that, 80. Again, think about $100 oil. You want to create a headline that'll freak out the feds? $100 oil. Nat gas. Hey, if you got stopped out here, great. Then it dumped. Now what? Look below and fail? If that's a look below and fail, it should resolve higher. I mean, we talked about it. If you bought it down here and you have tight stops, I mean, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with them apples. XOP, we said this May formation retest, like blow off top. Keep tracking higher. You want to buy Apple? Oil service is telling you where the money's at. You want to buy tech? Oil service is where it's been at. Now, again, don't chase it. It just looks strong. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. Let it play out. It's probably going to go back up to the one, fill some of those gaps. Oxy, climbing. Looks way better. I mean, lower left, upper right. Stocks you want to own. Right? ExxonMobil making 52-week highs. If I can find it. There you go. Every day. Not bearish. Not incredible, but they have earnings on Friday, so please be careful. EQT had earnings after hours. Let's see what that monkey's going, because they got stopped out on this. But you know what? Stops are your friends. We talk about that. It's going nowhere. I honestly kicked it at the 20-day when I said it couldn't get over it. Now it's back at the lows. We'll see what happens. Lower left, upper right. Hold on, I gotta sneeze. Gesundheit. It's hard for people to wrap their head around the markets, and I get it. Because you're trying to predict every move. And one little red signal, bearish. Every green signal, bullish. I'm just telling you, think about the bigger market at play. People out of position. People out of position. Money rotating. Dollar dropping. Bond yields coming in. Market oversold down. So, I mean, again, 80 points that fast. Gonna rally. Gonna rally. Right? Then what? Let it rise. You want to be a bear? Let it rise. And maybe it takes a few weeks, a few months. I don't know. Ideally, I've said this, it plays out until at least next week with a retest during OPEX. That's my wishful thinking. Again, that's just based on probabilities. Now, it could absolutely not do that. So I'm just warning folks with the best intentions. Be smart, be safe, be thoughtful. Because I can tell you for certain, the market has not capitulated. We have not seen VIX 50. When bears go all in, everyone, and again, think about retail. Most amount of money for the most amount of people. Now you got to do what? This is 2 straight line move. And again, now unless it's the last wipeout, which it isn't, clearly, you just got to expect it. I hope this helps. Please be safe. The call to action here at the end is if you have thoughts about joining Discord room, please DM me. I'd love to hear your story. If you've been in the room and you're on timeout, kicked out, please take the time to think about how the market makes you brain dead. Literally. I mean, it just does things that you just can't predict, and you go, well, I'm not evidence-based now. I want this to happen. We have to pivot. Please subscribe. I mean, get involved. I mean, if the student is ready, the teacher appears. If you listen this far and you are newer, take advantage of the information. I mean, it's one of those things where I'm not scared of competition. I say this all the time. Michael Jordan will teach you how to play basketball. Tiger Woods would teach you how to play golf. Anybody with great upside potential in the sense of things they've done in their life, they don't mind sharing their recipes. Why? Because they just know people won't do the hard work. Oh, I want to play. You know, how many times have you seen it as a kid? You want to play in the NBA? You want to play major leagues? You want to play professional soccer? Now, I'm not asking for that kind of commitment, but if you did 30 minutes a day and studied the markets, holy crap, you're going to learn a lot. And you're not going to make the same mistakes, and your brain's going to grow. And again, a lot of it is brain growth. People don't realize, like, emotions controlling actions is what leads to irrational gambling. I mean, it's the same thing as how gamblers always blow up, right? Once they get in a hole, once they start making money, their whole plan, their whole discipline, their whole system potentially gets eaten away at by emotion. Markets know that. All right, I'm going to let it roll on that. Please be safe. I appreciate the love and the support. The generous donations, whether it's $5, $50, $5,000, again, it shows me you understand the tuition bill you are saving compared to going somewhere and paying for a huge, expensive service that will literally tell you very little. We're trying to continuously update folks to live it, see it, breathe it. Because again, you can talk about something in a book or in a video, but until you live it and see it and cement it, that takes time. And that's the problem with most people when they get into this. They think they figured it out the first time. No. The ability to pivot, the ability to like observe data for what it's worth. Like again, we're on red alert. GDP data. I mean, I'd be watching 375. If you're watching the Qs, what do we say, 275? After hours, are we there? Are we there? No, we're barely flat. I guess the NVIDIA stuff. Just be safe. 20 days, somewhere there. I expect, again, once you get over this stuff, now it's support. All right, I'm going to stop rambling. Be safe. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.